Hi, Emerson. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and you, sir?
Great. Okay, we'll get this going here in just a second. It looks like we have some people joining. Hope everybody can hear us. I'm James Chubb. I'm the founder of the company, and Emerson is with us as well, who runs our marketing. We'll just give people another minute here. Thanks. Okay, great. And I will share my screen. Okay, hope everybody can see that. So today we're going to talk about the listing template feature, which is one of the most important features of eDirectory and probably also one of the most overlooked. So I'll just jump right in here. And so first we're going to talk about what they're for. What are the listing templates for? And I think what I'll do at this point is just jump in and share my screen. Let's see, share my browser screen. We'll go ahead and jump into the back end of the system, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. All right. Stop sharing that window and share Google Chrome. Okay, sure, here we go. Okay. Okay, so there we go. Okay. So I'm going to log into the back end. So the listing templates feature, basically what it allows you to do is create really detailed, beautiful listings for very specific use cases. So you can create a listing for a restaurant that has a menu and has more information, photos, etc. Whereas your listing for a golf course may have things about the types of grass that's used, the number of holes, the greens fees, that type of thing. And it is one of the most important features in the directory. So how do you access it? You go right here into the content section, and then you click listings. And in eDirectory we have, and then once you're in listings, you go right here to listing templates. And we have a couple predefined listing templates in the directory that come with it. However, you often want to delete some of them out, and the ones that you're not going to use, you probably just want to clear them out, and then you may create your own. One thing I wanted to mention just off the bat is, what is the difference between a listing template, which is used for the specific listings, and a theme, which is in the design area here. So I'm going to switch screens here to the front of the directory, if you can see this. And here we are. Let me close this up. I don't need that window. This is just a demo site that we have set up. And so if you go into listings, you can see this is the detail listing page for a restaurant, Elvira's Mexican Food. So I can show you if you're in the homepage of eDirectory and you just search for Elvira's, it'll show up here. I have a couple here. So that's how you get there. So this is about the detail page and what fields are available for this restaurant. Photos, deals, classifieds, video, more related restaurants here. And this is somewhat different than, let me go back here. This is different than the themes, which is like the Yellow Pages theme. So if you go here to themes, you can see we have different guide themes. So it's not the theme for the overall site, it's for the very specific listing. And then the other question that we often have is, well, what's the difference between a listing template and a category? And so let me jump into listing templates. So often there's an overlap, like you'll have a listing template for the restaurant category, but you'll still have the restaurant category. And the difference is a restaurant category has this hierarchy to it of, okay, you have a restaurant and then you may have a cuisine type, which is a subcategory. So you have a restaurant and then you have Mexican food, Italian food, etc. But all of those restaurants use the restaurant template. On the other side, you often have a general template, which is like the listing. And the listing is used for many types where you don't have a specific template created. So I hope that's clear, but I think it'll be a little bit more clear as I get in here. So let's take a look now at the restaurant template. And so this is how you go in and configure it. And so you can see the template has a title, and then these are the categories. So the category in our directory is actually food and dining. And what you'll want to do is bind your template to certain categories. So that way the template has the fields in it. Oh, we have for a restaurant, we have menu, we have photos, we have etc. And then you only want to have restaurants associated with the restaurant template. So you can browse the categories here, and then you find the category for this specific template. So you can create a template for lawyer, for gifts and flowers, for health, whatever. But often you don't want to create templates for everything. So you may just call them professionals for like lawyer, accountant, because many of those fields are the same for those templates. So you may just want to create one, which is professionals. But in this example, we're going to use food and dining here. And that's going to be the category that this template is connected to. Okay. All right. And if anybody has any questions, one thing I wanted to mention is we have a Q&A here. So just pop in and ask a question, and then I'll stop from time to time and try to answer everybody's questions during that time. Okay, so the next field here in the listing template is the pricing options, and you can expand this here. The pricing in eDirectory gets a little bit complicated because you have different listing levels, and then you have different templates. And so some people want to charge more for certain templates, like, oh, we want to charge restaurants, say, more than another thing like locksmiths. So we're going to charge restaurants another $20 or something for the listing, and then you add this additional price there, and then that price is combined with the normal manage levels and pricing. And the manage levels and pricing is in the site manager settings area here. I'll click here to show you this feature here, which is kind of important if you really want to fine tune it. But maybe you don't need to, maybe you want to keep it simple when you're just getting started. But I'll click on this here so that you can see some of the other options with the listing templates. So this took us here into it popped a new window and took us here into the settings area, manage levels and pricing. And then you go down here, you see we're under listings, and then you have diamond level, gold level, silver level, bronze level. And then the pricing, categories included, et cetera, the usual pricing option. And then the features for each level, which, diamond, gold, silver, bronze. And then below that, you'll see that there's a way to sort of restrict widgets that are used exclusively for this template. And if you expand restaurant here, you'll see that the widgets, cuisine, reservation link, price range, etc., are all, you can activate them by listing level here. So that really gives you ability to sort of fine tune it, as well as add a number, some of these fields, like if you have a certain chef in the restaurant, if a restaurant has multiple chefs, you may want to add the number here, and we have some checklist fields, some linked listings as well. So say a restaurant group has other listings that they want to link to it. That widget here, you can set how many linked listings they get, that type of thing here. Anyway, I know this is a lot to absorb, but after you get in there and try it yourself, it'll get a little bit easier. And you don't need to configure all these advanced options with the first run. You can do that as you're going. and building things out. Okay, so I will close this window about the pricing options here and go back to the listing templates feature here. And so anyway, we're just to be clear with everybody, what we're doing here is creating the template for all the listings that are going to be used. So all of the restaurants that you're adding will use this template, and they'll have these widgets that you're selecting available for them. Okay, so the first thing, oh, and one other thing here is we have an option to make all listings from this template to free. And that just overrides all the pricing if you turn it on, and then listings are just free for this template. And we found a lot of use cases where people just wanted to override all the pricing and make a listing free on the checkout. So we put that in. It's a great feature. Often you want to have paid listings and then a couple categories, or not categories, but a couple templates that are free, like job listings are free, but apartment listings you charge for, that kind of thing for it. So anyway, on the front, you'll see, I'm going to jump back to the front to explain these two views, just to be clear with everybody. eDirectory for a listing has two views. One of them is the summary view, which comes up in the search results. And then it has the detail view, which is an individual full listing. And I'll show you this on the front. I'll jump back in here. Wait, let me go here. Back to Elvira's, but I'll just go to the home page and I'll search again for food. Let me just search and I'll just see everything in the food and dining category here. And so this here is the summary view for the listing. It's on the results page. Anytime you see multiple listings on the page, you'll see this here. And then the detail view is here. Let me just go in here. And then, oh, and so we do have quite a few Elvira's here. I wonder if I was getting, so, and then here's Elvira's. So that's actually the free one. But this is the detail view. And so there's a couple different detail views. This is actually a good example. So you can see the difference between them as we go. So Elvira's, let me get back here. Here's Elvira's, and this when there's only one result, it shows the detail view. So this is the detail view for the listing. This shows the full one, and then the summary view. When there's multiple listings, it shows the summary view. So for the summary view, you select that here and it expands. You hit this drop-down button. And to keep things simple in the interface, we studied this quite a bit with our UX and our design team. And what we realized was the best way to do this for the summary view is give just a bunch of options here, some great looking listing options. And so you can see, you can make the summary view look like this or no photo, etc. for it. And then when you're a lower level listing, a basic level versus an advanced level may not have the photo or may not have some of those other features that you selected in the pricing page. So this is a summary view. You can select one of those. And then the detail view is down here below this section here, the detail view. You can go in and add a bunch of individual widgets. This section here is the header, which is this top part that you'll see here, right here, the header. And then there's the rest of it. And so you can add widgets. So there's a header, and then there's possibly more widgets. And then we have this ability to add multiple tabs to the listing. So overview, photos, reviews, deals. And so I'll click back here. And so here you can see the multiple tabs. So here's the header, and you could put more widgets up here, but then it goes into the detail view, and each one of these tabs has multiple widgets potentially. And so some of these, the deals isn't filled out on this specific listing, but the photos is on its own tab, and then the overview has a bunch of different widgets here. Okay, so I hope everybody's doing good. If anybody has any questions, just pop it into the QA. I don't have any open questions right now, it looks like, so I'll keep going. Okay. All right, so let me just go in here and talk about a couple of these widgets. I'll go onto the overview page. So we have a number of widgets here, and you can add a widget. And also the widgets are divided up into two types. We have sidebar widgets, which is this right section, and then the main widgets, which is here for the about section. So you can add widgets to both of these. Let me go back to Elvira's, and then you can see the example. So these are the sidebars, like the hours that it's open, and our chefs pop in here, the location, get directions, and then the main bar widgets here, the description, and then the call to action. This is a really important widget, book a table now, and this can actually pop up and go to an external booking system. Great. I just got a couple questions to pop in. When I set up tabs, they do not all appear on the detail page. There could be a couple reasons for that. I think possibly the listing level that you're adding may restrict it. That's probably the likely answer. This is for Mark. Let me just see. I'm going to answer this live. So, yeah, so it may be because the listing level that you're answering, that you're entering for that listing doesn't show the tabs. There might be some other reason, some other configuration. If you want to afterwards just send me a link. I'll give you my email address. You can send me a link and I'll take a quick look at it and see what the issue is and why the tabs aren't appearing, but that's typically used. The classifieds, that would probably be, this is a question I'm going to answer from Tom. Why is the classifieds tab used? Can you give an example? Yeah, this is actually a little bit confusing, I guess, for this type of widgets. An example here, typically for a restaurant, probably I wouldn't even call that classifieds. What I probably want to call it is jobs. And so here I can go into the tab and call it jobs, job, or work with us or something, with us. And then I can change that tab name there, and I'll see if I can actually save it on this demo and get back in there. So work with us, and then what happens is you go here and let's see. I think I need to save that. Mexican food. I may have a cache problem here where I got to get this thing redone. Edit this item. So but the reason you would use classifieds is basically to put in a job listing or something like that. I think some other types of people use eDirectory for all sorts of different things, and so there's a lot of reasons for that. Why they would potentially use that. But if you go here, I'll while I'm updating this, oh, it looks like the reason it's not showing up is actually this Elvira's looks like edit this page. I will go here to the actual listing and see, edit this template. And then edit this template. Here we go. So I'll go in here, and then you guys are following okay. And then under Elvira's Mexican Food 2, I'm going to change the name on that just so I don't get confused. This is in the restaurants. Deals classifieds our restaurants. Okay, save changes. And I'll show you an example here that's a little bit better. Stay with me here. All right. And then we go. And so we have a premium restaurant template with no ads. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to add some content for the classifieds that are linked in there. Okay, so sorry, I'm getting a little bit here. Let me review this. Go back here home. I got all that saved. And search. And what do I got? So here's Elvira's food too that I just edited. And then we can see, oh, it's not coming up because I don't have any content in there, classifieds. So add it. So the classifieds here, you can associate, add a new classified to it right here. And the reason it's not showing up, I'll see if I have one in the database here. Classified table, work with us, no price, diamond. I'll see if that goes. We have job openings, stop by and submit and interview. Stop by an interview today. Trying to fill these job openings as the economy opens back up here. See if this works. But that's basically it. So classified, it'll link with classified title. It'll link with an associated classified listing in there. So let me just see if I can show you this. I know this here. And let me see now if it comes back up. Classifieds. Did I get that going? And then you see the work with us. I didn't put in a photo, but if I had filled that out with a job opening, you would see that, and then the classifieds would be in there. So job openings, and that's the reason you would want to do that with the restaurant potentially, to change that. And okay, cancel and then deals. Okay, so I'm going to keep going here. I hope that answered the question. That works. Emerson's also going to type in an answer here if there's any more questions. Yeah, I hope that answered that, Mark. But basically, sorry, Tom, I hope that answered the classified question. Basically, you can do job ads or something else, but there are a whole bunch of different use cases for eDirectory. So that's one of them, just to embed some other content. Okay. Okay. So back, where were we? In here with some of the different templates. So there's tabs, and then each one of these tabs can have multiple widgets that you put in, as well as sidebar widgets and regular bar widgets. I think you're familiar with this from editing the front of the website, but one other thing is the call to action. I really want to stop by this one because this is really important and it's not used enough. And basically you can link it to an external system. So you can put in like a reservation link, and then the button label, make a reservation, and then save it. You can make this required. And then when somebody is actually editing the individual listing, call to action, separator bar, location. There's a whole bunch of widgets. One of the big widgets is also the features widget here, that has various features that they can select. Separators, additional information, videos, specialties, whatever you can think of, you put it in here. Reviews, and so you can customize all these for the very specific use case that you're doing, whether it's restaurants or whatever else, and then submit it. And then when they enter that listing, they can customize the specific listing for that restaurant. One other feature I want to mention is the enable disable on the listing template right here. So you can work on the template, get it all working, test it out with a sample listing before you go live, and see how it all works. I recommend doing that. So that's important. So then after you save this template, so the template's saved, and then you can go back here to the listings, and then when somebody's adding a new listing, they will go through here here's Elvira's food, and or if they add a listing, they can go here and select the level, and then they select the diamond level, and then they can select the restaurant template, and then they go here to edit it. And then in addition to the regular eDirectory sort of default listing fields, it will also have the other stuff. And when the layout is done on the front, it'll be all be organized, the checklists, price range, all these other features for it. Yeah, so that's the big thing with the listing templates. It is a major important feature for people to use. My main piece of advice actually for everybody out there is to keep this stuff simple. We see too many people working to launch their eDirectory site, and they just get bogged down because there's a zillion different configurations that you can really configure and really make the site look nice. But if you get bogged down before you launch, you don't get launched, and that's no good. So what we recommend is that really you just try to get your minimum viable product. That's a term from the whole startup world. What is the minimum you need to make this guide really good and out there? And then as you go, you can add more templates to the system and break those templates off the regular listing. So you start with maybe only listings and load all your data in, and then you go through your key categories. Oh, I want to make a really nice template for restaurants. You do that. Oh, this is a golf course directory. I want to do golf. If you're doing professionals, we have people doing speaker directories or whatever else. Then you go and break those categories out, create a template for them, and then when people are checking out to add a listing, they can go in there to do that. I think I had another question come up. If you modify a listing template with TADs, do those changes affect already existing listings? Yeah, let me show you that actually. That's something to show you here. So let me go back to listings and listing templates. And let me show you what happens if you want to mess with an existing template. Oh no, so I deleted it, just hit the delete button. So you can see if you try to delete it, click this delete, it'll tell you, hey, this template has 20 listings linked to it. To proceed, choose one of the options below. Do I want to modify, delete this template? You'll need to unlink all the listings or disable it, etc. So basically, it gives you a warning, and you can figure out what you want to do there if you're deleting it. And then when you edit it, it just sort of edits all the stuff that's already linked to it. So the ones that are there, if they don't have the data won't be filled in. So that's basically how that's handled. And I think that works pretty well for most directory. We're still working. We're constantly working on the system, and in the future, we're going to do more work to the bulk update and some other features of eDirectory to make it easy to move listings around and do some of that other stuff as well for that. Yeah, so keep it simple. I'd say, and then one other thing with that is we ship the system. When you order a fresh copy, it comes with all these different templates in it. I think we have some Spanish ones in here, which probably won't be in your fresh install. But what I'd recommend is if you're not going to use them, delete them. Just get rid of them to keep your interface and keep everything clear. And then you can go in and add new templates later to get what you want. What else? And then, yeah, one other feature, some of those widgets. Oh, I forgot one feature I did want to mention. Let me talk about that now. Under this levels and pricing, there's a couple things that you can do that are pretty good. With this levels and pricing under the level features. So you have level features, and then when you go into the templates, we have a couple templates like related listings, which show listings in the same category. So for instance, other Mexican restaurants. So, and then what you can do is disable the related listing widget from the diamond categories. So like, if Elvira's Mexican food is showing, it isn't going to show the other Mexican restaurants, but a gold or a silver or a bronze level, they will show other related listings. That's a great value add that you should probably think about configuring, and then also certainly mentioning in your sales pitch for it. Okay, so yeah, I guess it's that's pretty much the feature. I know it's a lot, but I'd say jump in there and start working on it and see how it goes, and you'll figure it out. Once you get an understanding of it, it comes pretty easy. Let me see if anybody else has any questions or any comments. Just feel free to pop them in the QA, and I'll jump in there. One other thing I wanted to mention is if anybody wants to contact me, don't hesitate to reach out to me after the webinar. You can reach me. I'll see if there's a way here to pop my email address is james.chubb. I'll see if there's a way for me to pop it in to everybody. My email is james.chubb@edirectory.com. And if you have any comments, suggestions, questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I certainly always like talking to people and hearing what everybody's doing, and maybe I have some tips for you, etc. Let me see if Emerson, do you have anything you'd like to add at this point? I'm not sure if Emerson has anything he'd like to add to this.
Maybe just giving an overview of the available widgets for the listing templates, just showing all the options they have.
Oh, each of the individual widgets. Sure, yeah, I can do that. If people want to see that, let me go to do that. Yeah, actually, I got one question first. Let me answer this live. From Renee. I have an older version, and I'm considering using the upgrading to the newer one. So Renee, it depends if the version is like really old before version 12. If it's, yeah, I mean, we've been working on this system for quite a while now. I think for years now. So if it's older than version 12, the upgrade is a little bit more involved than just version 12. From version 12 up, it's pretty straightforward and it's pretty automated. In addition to that, if you have customization, that depending on what the customization is, there may be some time and some cost involved to do that migration over from an old one. I think but we can handle it. If you want to reach out to your account executive, you can do that. Just send an email to sales@eDirectory, and we'll figure out what's needed for that. And we'll figure it out. I think today, actually, our upgrade queue is actually pretty clean, so we're able to do upgrades pretty quickly for that migration. So it isn't a long period, maybe a week or something today, but it really depends. If it's an older version, if there's customization that needs to be migrated, we need to let you know how long that's going to take. But I would certainly recommend reaching out. This listing template feature is certainly very important. And I have one more question. I'll answer that while I'm here. Is there an easy way to change the pricing matrix categories, titles, and reorder? I believe this is from Nick. I believe you're referring to the Advertise with Us page, where, let me just share my screen again here. And here we go. Let me share. So I believe you're asking if you can change the page on the front of the site that requests people. I believe you're talking about, I think that's at the bottom here. I believe you're talking about this matrix here. List your business today, and if you're able to change these options. Yes, so what you can do is when you're logged into Site Manager, you hit edit this page, and then that comes up in the page editor, which is slightly different but similar to the listing template editor. And then we have listing prices and listing plans, and we have a couple options here. And so you can edit these a little bit through the widget editor. You'll get in here and figure these out. And there's some of these are the options available. Let me just see. And then some of this is here. And then there's some features and customization information that you can put in here. And then you can edit what's in here via here, and that fills in automatically. Beyond that, what I was going to tell you is what we have a lot of customers do is they just delete this page entirely. And then they create a new page using the page editor called Advertise with Us or Be a Member or something along those lines. And then they just do some custom HTML using the page editor. So, and then they link it here in the footer. And our support team can help show you how to do that. We're not able to do without billing for the design time. We're not able to like do custom design, but we can tell you how to do it. And often what people do is take this page, copy the HTML from it, and then just create a whole new Advertise with Us page. So the way that would work is you're in the page editor, and then up here you hit add new page, and then call this page maybe become a member. And then you can change this URL and then you have a custom content, and you can just edit this and put in membership options here, put in some source code or copy the HTML. And then when you do that, one thing you want to make sure that you do is so if you're here on the advertise page, there's a checkout button here, which is just a link. And you just want to make sure that you link to checkout, so you have a call to action if you're creating your own page. I hope that cleared up how to do that, but certainly reach out to our support team if you need some more details on that, on creating your own, and then you just link it in. Okay, great. So I think we're done with that question. Okay, and then Emerson recommended I go back and go through the individual widgets. So I'll start doing that, and just in the interest of time, I'll go through as many as I can here. Let's see. So here, I'll close this tab up. And then here we are. So listings. Okay, here we are. Listings, and then the listing template editor. All right. And I'll go into the restaurants. So the individual widgets, the header, you kind of, it's mostly to move it around, and then so the individual widgets, let me see first if I want to talk about any that are already in here. The call to action I already spoke about. The separator widget is just a bar separator. Let me just go to, let me go back to the front here. Here we go. Open up a new to the front here just so I can show you what they look like as I go through the different widgets. The detail page. And I will go food 2. Okay, so here's the summary view, and then in the detail view. Okay, great. Okay, so the separator bar is just this little bar here. It doesn't do anything at all. It's just a horizontal line. And the features, when you're adding the listing on the front, the features come up here. And so these are things that you can select: Wi-Fi, parking, live music. We have a great set of them. Let me show you that actually when let me show you what that looks like here on the, when you're adding an actual listing, so you can see. And edit. So these are the features, and then if you want to add a new one, there's an icon. So you can see there's a whole bunch of them for all sorts of use cases that you can select and then put it in the name for it if you'd like. So for instance, you can use the Wi-Fi icon and put in fast Wi-Fi or something like that there to do that. Great. So features. Next, we have another separator, additional information. That's like download a menu. And so, if you have a PDF menu, you can do that and just do a menu download, and that'll actually download a menu. I'm going to open and see what this is. I don't know if I'll actually show up on the share, so that's not showing up, but that's how you would upload a menu, something along those lines. You could actually create a tab up here for menu if you wanted to, and then do fields, content fields where they could put in their menu as sort of HTML content or some other type of content to give them more flexibility there. What else here? Video. The video is hosted by YouTube, and so you can put in a big video there, which is a really good feature. Specialties. Let's go. I think this one doesn't have any specialties added, so those aren't showing up. Sometimes they don't show up if there's no data in there. Let me just see if I can find it. Image specialties. Where is the specialties? Site manager. Oh, let me edit the specialties that way. So specialties, you might use it for cuisine type. You can put in American, Brazilian, whatever you'd like in there. Be careful. This is actually one of the other things to think about is eDirectory is a great tool for laying out structured data. And before you get in there, you really want to think about the structure of your data because there can be a lot of overlaps with various things and they're used in various ways. So you may want to use cuisine as sort of a subcategory of the listing, but you also may want to duplicate that data and also put cuisine within, because some restaurants may have 2 or 3 cuisines that they offer. And so you want to put them in and show them actually in the listing detail. So I realize that things sometimes are not clear about how to use some of these fields, and you can just kind of make it up and use it as you go. Let me see if I got a question. No questions. Okay. A checklist, you can set up a checklist option, and these would be things like, you can also use them for various things, parking, live entertainment, things like that. More details, just a more data item layout, dining style, payment options, Visa, MasterCard, those types of things. Recent reviews, if you want to show reviews on the listing, those are a great feature to have. And then this is that related listings that I mentioned before, where you can configure this here to show more options that are somewhat similar. And so you can select it by category. How do you decide what's there? The level, like, oh, the highest paying one or the most viewed one, those kind of things. Then so for instance, if you want to put other popular options, and then you could do most viewed, or you could put in just other options and then choose level to show people paying more. How many, what's the order, random, and then what levels. There's a whole bunch of different configuration options for that. And let's see if I have that. So yeah, all right. And then this is kind of a related option, related listings. We called it here, our restaurants for Elvira's. So the widget is here, and then in Elvira's, let's see. Dun, dun. And then Facebook page. Let me see if I forgot anything as I go through here. Logo image, cover image, etc. Our restaurants. And so here you can see the other restaurant options here that they can put in. Okay, all right. And then let's see what else we have here. Hours, the separator bar, location is the map view. Linked listings, these would be things like the chef. So you can see them here. Our chefs, which is the linked listings option. All right. Okay, that's that. And range is the price range. So you can do like how many stars. I guess the price range isn't filled in, but that can be like, is it expensive, or is it $1 sign to $4 signs for that. Separator bars, social media, social feed. Oh, and then banner ads. So we have some banner ad options that you can add in there as well. Let me also go through the ad widgets just to see if I missed anything here. Add a widget. We'll go in here to work with us. So the widgets that are available here, there's only one widget, which is the banner ad. But here in the main, there's different banners in the main panel. You can see there's a whole bunch of different widgets here, and you can search for them. So I think I showed most of these, but there's different layout options for them. Like there's reviews, paginated, features, recent reviews, video, photo gallery, associated classifieds, checklist, description, call to action, more details, related listings, large banners. Let me just see here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. To show for I think that's pretty much it. Emerson, did that cover it as far as going through the individual listings? I think people go in there and you can see there's different ways to different options to lay it out. And there is one little point of interface confusion that we are working to get cleared up, which I just wanted to mention, which is there's this tab view here, which is overview, photos, reviews, etc. And then when you're actually adding the individual listing, there are tabs here which don't exactly correlate to the tabs here on the template. And there's just some legacy piece there. We're hoping to get that cleaned up very, very soon. But I just want to mention that these tabs don't correlate to the tabs on the specific listing, and we're going to get that cleaned up pretty soon in terms of the next release version of this system. But it still works fine, and you'll after you use it one or two times, you'll get that all you'll get that organized. Okay, yeah, I guess that's about it for me. Does anybody have anything else? Any final questions here? Otherwise, I'd really like to thank everybody for their time and showing up. We hadn't done these webinars, for a period here. I don't know. We just got bogged down in the pandemic or whatever else. But we're hoping to get these moving here every other week going forward. If anybody has any suggestions or anything you'd like us to run through, don't hesitate to reach out, send us an email, or let us know. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great day.